had a lot of technical difficulties, but we are back. Long and the short of it is, my computer was facing multiple blue screens of death, so that was kind of worrying. And I had to... Actually, my solution to fix it was actually to pull up a recovery key from Microsoft's website in order to try and fix it. But we are back here. We are live. I just need a quick moment to make sure my audio is working fine, but we are going to be going straight into training and getting things started. Today, we are not going to be streaming the full 4 hours. We are not going to be streaming for 3 hours. We are going to be streaming for 2, and we already wasted 12 minutes with me trying to get this thing to work. So be patient with me. Be patient with me for a moment while I wait for my stream to come up on my laptop. It is currently in the process of booting up, so it's going to be a couple minutes. While we are waiting, I'm just going to go in and assume my microphone is working properly, and I'll just go and say that this was kind of not how I wanted to start my day. I actually kind of screwed up, if I'm going to be honest here. There's a lot I actually intended on finishing this project and sending it to my advisor, my master's advisor, during the week, but procrastination is the true enemy of the college student. That is all I will say. I kept on saying, oh, I'm going to do it this day, I'm going to do it this day, I'm going to do it this day. Those days never come. Kind of push it off and push it off and push it off until I couldn't push it off anymore, and now I missed my deadline to turn it in. But luckily it's kind of not a formal deadline. It's not like, oh my god, I have to turn it in by this time, otherwise I won't fail, I won't pass. Just kind of an informal deadline. I said I was told my teacher I was going to turn it in on Friday. I was not able to get it done. I was actually going to end my Sims 3 Pets live stream an hour early, but to be honest, I lost track of time. So I had like a lot of shit going on, and in all honesty, I probably shouldn't.
Hate saying that word. Over in New Jersey, happening March
I don't care about you. There's like a esports thing going on for Smash Bros. So that's what you were hearing. My microphone's working. I just need to get one more thing. I forgot to get my microphone. And like, this is just so unprofessional, but I had computer issues and it completely took away so much time. I'm just going to say this, as much as I love my family, I told my mom specifically that I would need, because she needed help, moving some of the rooms, and I told her that moving like some of the furniture, I told her that I would help her, I told her I will help her in the morning, but I can't do it in the afternoon because I'm going to be busy.
An excellent showing. Right this way?
She literally just spent like the entire morning shopping, and she came back. She came back completely mad at me because I was not able to help her because I'm streaming, but I can't even help her even when I'm done.
Christ.
What was I supposed to do? I can't even stream, I can't even help her when I'm done because I need to work on my project. Project takes priority. Swear to God, like, if you want to help me, you should have just freaking listened to me.
Excellent showing.
Dude, that's not what I... Oh my god. Not what I wanted to do, game.
Hey, come in! Counter-revolutionary!
Oh my god.
Now I got ya!
There we go. Kinda got it. Yeah, basically the reason I was bringing up my family is as I was just starting the live stream, I heard my mom yelling at my dad for me not being available to help her move furniture. I kind of have a busy freaking day today. I'm sorry, but it's just life of a college student. Can't be at your beck and call every single day. I literally opened up my morning to help you, and you literally... That's kind of disappointing. So I was kind of hoping that we would be getting Berserk, the Blades tutorials, but we actually didn't. Which is kind of disappointing because I would love to figure out how those abilities worked. See, hold LB to aim and RT to shoot a firearm. I guess we can experiment with this. I think there's a guard nearby. Or not. Oh, but we'll worry about this later. We got plenty of time to experiment with this, figure out how this works. So last time we completed this mystery, we got all 3 intel off of that. We're gonna play this 3 times to get the 3 intel for this.
The more data you can collect, the better your reward. But the assassin is more important. Good. Our techs will start analyzing the data right away. Excellent.
I heard a critique about this game from a kind of a close friend of mine from a Discord chat I'm in, where he actually said that he didn't like Assassin's Creed Unity because, well, he had like a couple reasons. One of the reasons he had was the movement was to.
This one's encrypted. Wait.
The hell was that? The movement was to. I'm trying to remember the word he used.
Excellent. This could hold some major Abstergo secrets.
He said, I can't remember what exactly he said. It's just, he phrased it weirdly, but I guess he was kind of, he didn't like how the movement, was too clunky, I guess is a word good word to use. And I personally, I don't really feel like the movement was clunky per se, but I do kind of feel like that it's definitely more dynamic. Like, there's a lot more involved and a lot more animated than previous games. I personally like it. I do kind of feel like that the movement in this game is definitely kind of more involved than in other games.
Excellent. This could hold some major Abstergo secrets.
Personally, I don't really consider more dynamic movement to be a bad thing per se.
You know where the assassin is. Get to him now. Data received. You found him. Not much time now. You've done it. Good. Hold on. Decrypting. Wow, this should make our researchers very happy. Good. Our textbooks are analyzing the data right away.
Okay, let's go.
Our operative is safe and sends us thanks.
I actually got an achievement off of that. Earn data bonuses and 3 different helix rips. So I will say, one of those helix rips is something I did in a different playthrough. That's another thing of progress being shared of 2 different runs.
The more data you can collect, the better your reward. But the assassin is more important.
It's character witness testimonial.
Grapevine. This one's encrypted. Wait. Keep up the good work. Grapevine. Wow, this should make our researchers very happy.
Okay.
Let's hope that contains something valuable. Good. We have enough data to trace our man's position. Operative located. This data comes from deep within the helix. Welcome. The agent has been recovered. Hold on. Decrypting.
So slow. You're like molasses. We'll get him.
The simulation will start collapsing soon. Hurry! Wow, this should make our researchers very happy.
God damn it, leave me alone!
Our techs will start analyzing the data. Wait, this data is encrypted. You performed a great service for the Brotherhood, but others still need your help.
Yeah, I am actually gonna back out. Because I need to make sure that I'm stocked up on healing. I think I used 3, maybe 4 those 2 runs. Maybe just 3. Phoenix Project Report.
Bienvenue, monsieur.
Let's do this one more time and we should be able to get the last of the assassin intel that we were missing. And like, I don't think that it's getting all the assassin intel require 5% completion. I think it's literally just completing it once.
We're counting on you to save our operative. He's somewhere in the simulation.
I just want to do it for completion's sake.
Data received. Wow, this should make our researchers very happy.
Oh, it's actually not down there now. Before there was a green decrypting thing available on the that ledge down there.
Great find. Wait a second. This one's encrypted. Wait, this data is encrypted. Excellent. This could hold some major Abstergo secrets. This should come in useful. Good. We have enough data to trace our man's position. There he is. Wow, this should make our researchers very happy. He's free. Well done.
I didn't know killing those guards actually gave you points. That's actually good to know.
This will come in handy. The simulation will start collapsing soon. Hurry!
Yeah, let's move on.
Another assassin lives thanks to you. Enjoy the reward.
Alright, we got what we came here for. Let's go ahead and go back to Helix. So we're currently like 19 minutes in, but we are 30 minutes. We're at 1:30 right now. Just gonna put this out there. I will not be streaming a little bit longer because I streamed because I started a little bit later. If that makes sense. I just don't have enough time to worry about that. So let's just go ahead and when we get to 3 o'clock or really 2:50, we're gonna be leaving, even though it's gonna be like an hour, like 10 or 10 minutes early. It's just I don't have time to worry about that at the moment. One thing I did want to do, because I was just reminded of that, I want to go into character customization. I should get a better sword. So we're going to weapons, one-handed. So ours is 3, and I want to get a 4 tier 1. This is just to hopefully make it so that we can actually do a little bit more damage against 3 tier enemies. It's telling me about unspent sync points, but we only have 1, so I can't really buy anything from that. But the next thing I'm probably going to buy is the upgraded lockpicking thing when it becomes available. Iridite rulers of thy facade, stone facing forward, the blood of executions. One day you will quiver and quake as your insides blaze in fury. I have no idea what that means, so we are gonna cheat and pull up a guide. One of the things that actually kind of, one of the what is my freaking mic keep just gonna say? One of the criticisms one of my friends with this game is he doesn't like the Nostradamus Enigmas. He just didn't really find doing those to be fun. I can definitely see what it means. I'm definitely not smart enough to handle these type of things. But it is freaking ads. It is interesting that the end reward is essentially like a legendary assassin uniform. Oh, we have 1,000. Climb up the fucking wall. We have some money in our store, in our cafe theater, so I need to go ahead and collect that. Saw era will resound. A dire twist of fate to dispel darkness, no more now to break the necks of many. I don't know what that means. Again, ad, go away, and no one wants you. Oh, I see it. Orphan Tower was become of the rest and started pilgrims. Oh, this is the shreds of memories hang from the Chimera's beaks. This one pressure of the atmosphere, the other alchemy. I know exactly which one this is. So we need to complete 5 more events and we will be getting a achievement. Not achievement, but a challenge completed. My mind is not firing on all cylinders right now. Definitely appreciate the damage increase though. I will say, one of the things that we were discussing with one of my friends about Assassin's Creed Unity, the person that I was talking to made a claim that Assassin's Creed Unity was worse than Syndicate. And I'm not really sure I entirely agree. Just from what I have played so far, I think it's definitely an interesting game. But I wouldn't really go so far as say it's worse than Syndicate. Like, Unity has the problems, but in my opinion, not nearly as bad as Syndicate. And this is coming from someone who actually enjoys Syndicate, so. I will say, one thing I will say though is, one thing I will say though, got another one done, is it's definitely more enjoyable for me playing this game than playing Valhalla, which isn't really much of praise because Valhalla is probably like the one Assassin's Creed game I vehemently despise. But it is still like a game that I kind of enjoy a little bit more. To be honest, if I were to place Assassin's Creed Valhalla or in the tier list, like if I were to rank all the Assassin's Creed games based on what I enjoy more versus what I enjoyed the least, I will honestly say that Assassin's Creed Valhalla will probably be the game I enjoyed the least overall. But I enjoy Assassin's Creed Odyssey a lot more than I enjoyed Valhalla. So the disparagement between like the last place and second and last place is like a huge gap in terms of like the games I enjoy. Which is not something... It's not something that I feel that too many people... Like a lot of, I watch like a lot of like top 10 videos. I watch a lot of top 10 videos of people ranking the Assassin's Creed games. But I don't really encounter too many people that explain like first time I encountered like one of those type of enemies, that's definitely really interesting. So what I was actually going to say before I kind of got myself distracted is that, but I will say that combat thing was definitely pretty interesting. But one of the things I was gonna say was I do kind of feel like that there's a lot of people that rate this Assassin's Creed games, but not too many people actually explain like why they consider this game so good, why like all this kind of stuff. But I definitely will say that there's a lot of there's most of the Assassin's Creed games that I played I actually really enjoy playing, and if I were to rank of the like the 13 games out there, if I were to rank from the least favorite to the most favorite, it would be kind of hard. It would be kind of inaccurate, I guess you could say, because I do still like enjoy the games that I have ranked globally, but it was just putting like the game at the end of a top 10 list is just kind of gives a wrong impression for me. In this episode, we will likely, in this video I should say, we will likely just be doing collectibles. Probably won't be doing too much story. So if you want to see some, collectibles, some story progress, you're probably not going to get it today. Mainly because I don't have that much time to work with. And honestly, the work that I have to do today for my project, it's very freaking minor. I just didn't have enough time to work on it. That's really like the thing. How much are you gonna cost? 1,000 is fine. I'm honestly kind of legitimately curious. Like, I'm kind of like a mix of both. Sometimes I like climb the rooftops and just travel by rooftops. Sometimes I travel on the streets. I'm just kind of curious just how many people actually do one or the other. Like, if most people playing Assassin's Creed like prefer to like travel on the rooftops, or most people just run through the streets. I just feel like I'm kind of a mix of both. Like, sometimes I just do what I think is faster, but.
J'ai des amis, des gens qui sont bon sang. Il se passe quelque chose.
Trying to figure out how to get to this chest. There's a chest somewhere around here. Oh, is it up there? Let me put a marker on this. Oh, it's down below. Oh, wait. Stairs. That's where I'm doing wrong. I thought it was inside that building, because that's where it looked like it was. This is a level 2 thing, so we can't do this. Good to know that this is down here, though. Looks like this is also down below, so we're just going to stick to the sewers. No, just only we can access through here. Let's go back. No. Okay, so I think we need to come down through a different entrance. We got about like 1 hour left to stream, so gonna try and let it be as productive as possible. Again, we're not gonna be making like significant amount of progress. That's one thing I will say for sure. So if you were expecting me to just like, because it's actually a good thing that I caught that before I got too far into this. But my stream actually did, well, not my stream, but my whole entire fucking computer just froze. And I had to just completely shut down my computer and turn it back on, and voila, it fixed. I haven't seen an actual computer freeze in a long time. Luckily, the freeze happened like a couple seconds after I like completed that crowd event. So it wasn't like too big of a deal that I lost, I literally lost like 2 seconds of progress, only me walking 5 feet. So it's really not a big deal. It's really not a big deal, but it's still like so stupid that it happened. First time I ever had a computer freeze midstream, so that's definitely kind of interesting. One thing I will say though is it does kind of make me a little bit worried for future streams if my computer literally froze not too long after I started streaming, like not even an hour since I started streaming. One thing I also wish you could do with this game, going back to like the pros and cons of this game, I guess you could say, I really kind of wish you could buy die colors because I'm not really too thrilled that the die is currently available right now. This is a 2-star thing, so we're not going to try it. How are we doing this district? I do kind of like this graveyard area. It looks so interesting to me. It does look like there is a bit of a stream delay. So it looks like that my stream is like 5 seconds behind, which is really not a big deal. Never gonna catch me. I can't see that guy running and not think of the greased up deaf guy from Family Guy now. I will say, I mentioned like when I first, like in the first stream, that I didn't really give the combat a chance with this game. I didn't like the parry system, so I didn't bother trying to learn it. I really wish I'd give this game a try, because I definitely do enjoy the combat now. I mean, I think part of the reason I've been more accepting of it is because I'm used to the combat in games like Assassin's Creed Valhalla, Odyssey, and Origins, where I actually use the parry somewhat frequently. And in fact, you're actually encouraged to parry with, I want to see what's in here. You're actually encouraged to parry in Valhalla to break the enemy's guard. Really nothing? Okay, now can I lockpick? There we go. So I will say we got about 50 minutes left in this stream before I'm going to be calling it quits, so once again, like I have like a project I need to work on, need to try and finish it and send to my professor, and also a couple other things I need to work on as well. What the other thing is really to help out my mom, but I also need to like get this video processed and ready to upload onto YouTube. My fuck! I bit my tongue. Ow. Oh god. I technically have 3 things to do today, but those 3 things are kind of long projects, so... God, son of a bitch, that hurt. It was my incisors, too. I essentially bit my tongue on my incisors. With my incisors. Go ahead and put a waypoint on this artifact spot. Let's actually go inland a little bit. We're kind of getting kind of zigzag a little bit. Just kind of go in this pattern. Okay, one more crowd event and we have another reward. Let me go ahead and test my audio real quick because I'm getting paranoid again. Can't see now in my old age. I'm just mainly worried about the fact that my audio will just crap out at some point, especially since my computer just froze like 20 minutes ago, 10 minutes ago. If I were to actually make a guess as to why my computer kept blue screening, my external hard drive is kind of bugged at the moment, where my driver has issues recognizing the external hard drive. So there were times when I try and like open it, and it's unable to open it until I reboot my computer. So that's just... And if I ever want to unplug the external hard drive, which by the way, whenever you unplug something with the USB, you always have to eject it from the desktop manually on the computer to avoid file loss. I can't do that if my computer no longer recognizes my external hard drive and can't open it, because it thinks that the file is already open in another device when it actually isn't. So, like, it'll think that I already have, like, the folder open, so I can't close it, even though I have no tabs actually open. So, if I want to unplug... If I want to unplug my external hard drive to, say, plug in my Stream Deck, right here, I have to turn off the power of my computer and unplug my external hard drive when it is powered off. And I have to do this every single time I want to stream, to the point that I've actually been debating on, first of all, buying a splitter, a USB splitter, which actually does exist. But I've also been debating on just not even using the Stream Deck. But I think I'm more leaning towards the splitter than anything else. It's just, I bought so much equipment for this streaming thing. I had to buy like a new like $1,300 gaming PC to replace the one that bricked during a power outage. Oh, and which, by the way, I've had my 4th power outage in a month because PG&E is literally the worst fucking company in the world. And if it gets to one more power outage, then I will need to buy another surge protector. Because guess what? Surge protectors are only good for absorbing a certain amount of joules. And I think that after a 5th power outage that I would be close to or would have exceeded the amount of joules it can absorb. It's just so fucking stupid to me. It really is. So, we had a power outage this morning, and I saw that, woke up, and I saw my alarm clock was flashing, so I'm not going to deal with that. I was just going to sleep. Hopefully it'll be gone, like, when I wake up. I'm just going to go back to sleep and just try and sleep it off. And when I woke up an hour later, I saw the power was back on. I said, okay, good. But it's just... I can't help but wonder, what if it's a power outage that actually kind of caused my computer to have issues? Mainly because of the fact that my, mainly because of the fact that, normally it doesn't turn around. Mainly because of the fact that, it started blue screening, having issues loading up, because shortly after I had the power outage, but it worked fine when I turned it off. So I really don't know what's causing it. I feel like there's a couple of factors that could be the reason why I was having issues, but I just don't know for sure. I was honestly kind of thinking about taking it to Geek Squad at Best Buy. Try and fix it.
Je vous prie de sortir sur le champ. C'est bien le nom.
Move! See, this is 3-star lock. Now we're gonna be going up here. Actually, that should be fine. That's debating whether or not I want to buy more lapis. I think I should have enough. This is a 2-star lock, so we can't pick it.
Voyez le sort qu'elle réserva au comte de Belle.
Okay, that was actually kind of smooth parkour. Oh my god, that was perfect. Wow, that's cool. This is the last collectible in the district, at least it should be. And looks like we got money as a reward from that. With 10,000 libras, that's not bad. I would love to hear the pronunciation of that word, because I always feel like I'm pronouncing it wrong. I hate the ones that are near the bottom. There you go. I did need to restock on lockpicks though. Okay, so I believe that should be all the lockpick chests we're missing in this district. I think the last thing we're going to be doing for today is just clearing up the missions we have in here. Okay, so let's first start with this one, sweet music. Harlow, no! My dog was just barking outside my door.
Les gardes ne vont pas tarder à te remettre dans ta cellule.
Okay, next up, you. My dog's actually recently got into a fight. I think I mentioned this in Friday's live stream. But, well, we actually got into two fights. One, my dog actually had to get surgery over. And last night, literally when I was kind of toning down, getting ready for bed, dogs got into another fight. Really kind of sad because, we have no idea of what's causing it. We thought that before it was like the dogs like trying to establish alpha, which is kind of like a bad idea. Usually the human is supposed to be alpha. But, our dog was just, got into a fight. Like, it's just, they went at it with simply no warning whatsoever, and we had to, like, we had to, take care of them, essentially. Just had to separate them and, try to watch them. I think the hardest thing is, really with owning a dog, is just making sure they don't get into any trouble, which can be harder than it seems. But especially with my family, ever since the Camp Wildfire happened, that essentially made my family homeless. Our dogs, we had like a long string of dog fights starting from that event to today, and we had like multiple dogs since then. And, like the original two, like one of them we had to put down, the other one we had to give for adoption because they're just fighting too much. But these new dogs we had, like they have no experience with fighting, but they just started fighting all of a sudden with seemingly no warning. I really don't know what's causing it. One thing that does kind of annoy me a little bit, regarding this game, I'm not really too thrilled about the sheer amount of side quests and side content in this game. Just kind of overwhelming a little bit. Especially with the lack of variety in them. Because so far it's been mostly assassinate targets.
That Jean-Baptiste Rotondo escaped prison. Ever hear of him? He knows a few things about the assassins. It's likely he'll attempt to get to the Templars and tell him what he knows. Assassinate him before the National Guard can reach him. He's right down there, escaping through the sewers.
Okay, now we need to escape. Oh, you fuck. Really? This blocked off? Move. Okay. Let's actually go back to the, let's go back to, the cafe theater, collect joint income, and also renovate the place a little bit.
We found something in the attic during the renovation. You may wish to go upstairs and have a look.
Okay, we'll check it out. Last one is 15,000. We can actually afford it, and I think we will.
The workmen were able to break open a doorway in the basement. It would afford a way to come and go along the north bank, free from prying eyes. Should someone require such a thing. Another...
Okay, so we actually got 22 mementos already. Huh. Let's take a look around. So, downstairs is, well, first of all, let's check go in order. So we unlocked something in the attic first.
Here for a fight, monsieur?
Come again.
A training match, that is. An assassin can never be too well prepared.
Isn't our mandate to work in the shadows? Stay undetected and all that?
Call this the fallback option. Better to practice here in safety than pick a fight with ruffians in the streets. No?
Touché.
Sure. Delayed achievement. Just want to say there's no new letters.
I hope I know what I'm doing.
Here's the attic. Okay, the other thing that we unlocked. Huh. Don't we have some outfits we need to unlock? Yeah, well, let's go downstairs then.
Here's to success then.
I think this leads to the Assassination. So this was also new. I saw something. There was also something that I wanted to check out also, because I remember that there was mementos you could view here. I don't think I've ever saw that. So I think the mementos are marked by that trophy icon. Oh, so interesting. The Statue of Liberty, enlightening the world, was built and designed in France and gifted to the United States on October 28th, 1886. It says it's from the Belle Epoque Helix Rift, and that there are 3 total that we can get, but the problem with that is there's more than 3 Helix Rifts in the game. So, I don't know why. I think it's like 5 or... We can check. Yeah, there are... Oh, maybe it means like Belle Epoque. Maybe there's like 2 for each. I don't know. It's just, it doesn't make sense to me. So this is for single player completion. Blacksmith hammers, a pair of hammers stolen from the blacksmiths. Initiation chalice, the chalice used by the Assassin Council, Arno's Rite of Passage.
That takes me back.
And Hidden Blade replica, the symbol of the assassins, the Hidden Blade. Just for the campaign. I guess this would be a good way to track 100% completion. I didn't even know this was a thing. Accomplishments. So it says 17 to 50. I think it may be for achievements, because I got 17 to 57 achievements, and I think 7 of those achievements are for the Dead Kings DLC. That's just tracking the achievements. I want to see what that looks like when we get them all. Terror Story is the only other thing that we haven't seen. Recover all the artifacts. Complete Nostradamus Enigmas. Complete all the pair stories. Complete all the heist missions. Complete all the co-op missions. Okay. Oh. We need to fix that. Character customization, gear stop. Gear loadout, weapons. It's fucking bullshit. Okay, well let's go back to this area. Yeah, 3 more missions to take care of before we're gonna wrap up the stream. It is well known that Intendant Folan is hoarding foodstuffs and selling them at exorbitant rates. We have discovered one of his warehouse-less halls. Limit the hoarders, open the warehouse, and give the people access to the food. The council, sure. That was a campfire.
Nothing for you here. Get away.
5-day citizen. I have not eaten in 5
God, you freaking...
Or you'll be...
Have pity, we need food.
That'll cost you.
If Arno did what I wanted him to do, we wouldn't have, we wouldn't have got attacked. I was trying to do an aerial assassination.
Get him!
I have not eaten in 5 days.
Get no trouble from me, brother. Your life. He's gaining! Hurry!
Really don't care about getting into combat. I'm just trying to get through this as fast as I can.
This is my patriotic duty! After him! After him! Trick him, son. Tire him out.
Had your chance to live, you did not take it. Really, this is on you. One thing I do not like, every single time I try and tell Arnold to do something specific, like trying to run and assassinate someone, does not do what I want. You shot me one too many times, my friend. I will not stand.
Tous les ennemis de la liberté.
I actually am gonna swing by the store before we do the next social club mission, man, because I want to restock on supplies. I used quite a bit of resources there, so.
I don't do business with extortionists. Get away.
30 now. I wonder if there's a limit to these, right? They'll just be continuously going up. I'm assuming there is. If there's something I could talk about, I recently started replaying Assassin's Creed. I recently started replaying Pokemon Let's Go Pikachu. It's a game that I got like at launch, but I never actually finished. I have a nasty habit of choosing bad Pokemon that end up getting me screwed, and it's just... I had to start a new game because I thought that I kind of made too many mistakes when I played through, and I want to do it better, but I'll hold that thought. Got food on Houghton Roof at last, as the last guys pretend to move foodstuffs to his warehouses. Poland is transporting crates of flour across the rooftops of Paris. Near the Hotel de Ville, intercept them and eliminate the workers. I wanted to just try and play as Pokemon Let's Go Pikachu from scratch, started from the beginning. And I've been making some significant progress, I will say, and but I constantly find myself disappointed with the game. And it's mainly because of the fact that every single time I want to do something, I just find myself disappointed when I find out that I can't actually do that. An example, one of the many examples is I wanted to use the Spearow family on my team because I remember they're kind of a good Pokemon in Pokemon Fire Red. Remember they could learn like a variety of different moves. I've one of them, I'm pretty sure was Aerial-based, I could be wrong though. But I was disappointed when I looked at Spearow's moveset, where after he learns Roost at like level 29, he learns nothing until like level 40 something but support moves. I think it learns 2 support moves until like level 48 when he learns his final move, which is Drill Peck. And up until that point, the only flying move you should have is Peck. A basic like 30, 50 power, 20 whatever power move that essentially does nothing. And I was honestly kind of a little bit upset about that because I realized I'm essentially only gonna have to use TMs or like a move reminder essentially to recover some of the moves that they technically learn at level 1, and one of the moves they could relearn is Sky Attack, which is a powerful flying type move. But I was also disappointed when I was planning on going to a move reminder because I remember there was one in Lavender Town, I'm pretty sure, in the original Fire Red. But I was disappointed when I found out that, hey, you actually can't,
Why so fast?
you actually can't, You actually can't learn go to a move reminder until you get to the Indian Plateau, when there is one in the the Indigo Plateau in the Pokemon Center. And I was just so pissed off when I found that out, because I thought that was just such a stupid mechanic. Why would they restrict like the move reminder until like the literally right before you beat the final bosses of this game? It literally made no sense to me.
Don't give a warning.
So I literally had to like try like a couple different things. I thought, okay, well, if I can't use a move reminder, maybe I can do something else. Maybe I can learn TMs. The one TM that I was interested in learning for Firo, I'm pretty sure was at the tail end of the game, which is honestly kind of stupid. So I tried to do something else. I thought, hey, if I can't use, it looks like I am forced to use Firo, maybe I can balance that out with a couple really powerful Pokemon. One of the Pokemon that I was considering was Poliwag. I knew that I could catch a Poliwag and evolve it into Poliwrath. Pretty early on, really. And, I could catch a Poliwag like as early as one of the first routes of the game. I was disappointed when...
The part where I spill your...
Surprise, surprise. I was disappointed when, surprise, surprise, I actually couldn't catch a Poliwag until Pikachu learned Surf, because there is no fishing rods in this game. So another thing I was disappointed with, I also wanted to use Growlithe because I never ever used an Arcanine in any of my Pokemon playthroughs. I knew Arcanine was a good Pokemon to use. Imagine my surprise when I found out that Arcanine doesn't actually learn any good moves. He doesn't learn any moves once you evolve him from Growlithe. If you wanted to use an Arcanine, you have to essentially... If you want to use Arcanine, you essentially have to, like, train a Growlithe up to, like, level 48 until he learns, like, his final move that he learns. It's a lot of, like, disappointing bullshit. It's just, they nerf a lot of the Pokemon. Like, Pokemon that were great in Gen 1 and Pokemon Fire Red are now nerfed to hell. And they simply aren't good anymore. I just found myself so disappointed the more and more I played this game, because the moment I want to try and do something, I can't do it. So I'm literally just kind of forced to, like, use weaker Pokemon until I able to learn the move that I want to learn. Essentially the powerful move that I can't learn is Final Evolution for some dumbass reason. Because, again, for some unknown reason, once you fully evolve a Pokemon, they don't learn any new moves. That's what it just feels like to me. It's just so disappointing. It's just... I've never ever beaten a Kanto game. I never beaten Pokemon Red and Blue when I had those games. I never managed to beat Pokemon Fire Red and Leaf Green, because I was literally the world's worst Pokemon player. So I thought, hey, maybe I could do this with this game. There's a lot of stuff that I could do with this game. Nope. Can't do it. In an effort to force farmers to give up their harvest, the food hoarders have taken a group of them hostage near the Court of Miracles. Find the hoarders and free the farmers. It's just... I'm just so disappointed with this game. Like, I feel like I had like a lot of potential, and it's just whoever developed that game. I don't know if it was actually Game Creek or some like the second party developer company, but they really dropped the ball with that game. It's just so many mistakes they made. It's just makes it just kind of unenjoyable for me. I'm still trying to like finish it because again, I never managed to beat the Kanto game, so I thought it'd be kind of cool to do that. Well, so we got about 10 minutes left before we're gonna be wrapping up the stream. In all likelihood, this mission will be the last thing we do. I don't know if it's possible to fill this. I don't know if it's possible for the guards to kill the hostages. I'm assuming because it's possible for them to do that in other games. I don't know if it's possible for this. So far, I never actually failed a mission. I died in a few of them, but I never failed one. Get down, you fucking idiot!
I'll get you down. Killing you quick. You bloody lads don't deserve anything. You will pay for that. How, bastard! Your anti-revolutionary days are numbered.
God, I literally couldn't do anything there. Freaking Arno was being an idiot.
Many thanks.
Is it still considered stealth if I kill everyone in the fight?
bastards!
Literally killed everyone here. I'll be surprised if there's. Oh, look at that. I was wrong. I was gonna say I'll be surprised if there's a single bar left.
Like the bastard! Hey, many thanks! Down now, bastards!
There you go. So that's actually going to do it for today. If you are remotely interested in what you see today, all the games I cover on my channel will be for 100% completion. I'm going to be streaming Assassin's Creed Unity yet again next Saturday. This time it'll be from 1 p.m. to 5 Pacific Standard Time. I'm going to be streaming Stardew Valley for 100% completion 1 p.m. to 5 Pacific Standard Time. And I'm going to be streaming on Sunday, Stardew Valley 100% completion. 1 p.m. to 5. And I'm going to be streaming Assassin's Creed Sims 3 Pass for 1% completion from 1 p.m. to 5 Pacific Standard Time. I'm actually out of time here, so I'm going to end it off early. Once again, I have some work I need to do today, so I don't have time to stream the full 4 hours. Has some technical difficulties here. Next time, kind of expect for some significant progress. We're going to be finishing this last district of Venture de Paris. We're going to be completing sequence 4. And really only 2 sequences here. We're going to be completing those 4 sequences, those 2 memories. And we'll be moving on to other things. So thank you guys for watching, and we'll see you all next time. Bye. Yeah, this is my second time recording this video. For some reason, one second. Testing, okay. For some reason, my stream keeps on crashing. Like, my computer keeps on full on freezing. So I recently just downloaded a program like a week or 2 ago that essentially analyzes like every freaking aspect of this computer and tries to fix all the issues. Like, it does malware, it does tissue fragmenter, it clears like the browsing history, like all this freaking bullshit that computers had to deal with. And I'm hoping that will fix the fucking freezing issue. So we actually already read like some of these things, so unfortunately we have to read it again. Because the freaking recording froze, so we're doing this again. So I think the only thing that is new is in Paris Stories. John Baptiste Rotondo, an Italian swindler and double dealer who served numerous masters, supposedly a professor of Latin, indisputably a dealer in stolen jewelry. He was a regular at Palais Royal, where he met with the Duke of Orleans up to 10 times a day. One can only assume that it was not to teach the Duke Latin. At one point, Rotondo was accused of attempting to assassinate Lafayette, with whom he had an ongoing feud. A regular at almost every political club, Rotondo was in close contact with the radical leaders of the day. He was in and out of prison for a variety of offenses. At one point, it was rumored that it was he who had murdered the Queen's confidant, the Princess of Lamballe. Rumor that Rotondo made no attempt to dispel, and now he is dead. So the other new thing that we have is for Joseph Foulon de Dieu, considered clever but harsh. This staunchly conservative and tending to finances would be one of the first victims of a populist venting fury over lack of food and high taxes. Just before the fall of the Bastille, he had the misfortune replacing Jacques Necker, who was lauded as the savior of France by the starving masses who knew only that under Necker taxes were lower. In the popular imagination, Follin, along with his son-in-law Berthier de Savigny, bore some responsibility for the food shortages that plagued the nation throughout the period. By legend, he had said during the early famine, if they're so hungry, they can graze on hay. Follin met an unpleasant end. Taken from his refuge in the countryside, he was marched barefoot to Paris, with the nettles and made to carry a bundle of hay, and give it only peppered vinegar to drink. After several attempted hangings, he was beheaded and his head paraded in the streets on the end of a pike. Daily new entries prepare stories. We have locations, we have churches, and we have Église St. Lou. St. Lou and St. Gilles lent their names to this church situated in the bustling Rue Saint Denis since 1320. It was originally St. Gilles Chapel before being extended and become the St. Lou Church. Extensively and repeatedly reworked since then, only its facade is now of any architectural significance. So the only other thing that we have is for Misk, I believe. That's an intel. We are actually gonna go. We're actually gonna go back to character witness testimony because it's one I was reading on my computer when my program froze, and I hope to God it doesn't freeze again. Melanie LeMay, Chief Creative Officer at Sargo Entertainment, 15 March 2014. To whom it may concern, in furtherance of the ongoing investigation of the late John Standish, former Information Technology Director at Abstergo Entertainment, I've been asked to provide a short reminiscence of our working relationship with the hope that it may shed some light on his bizarre actions immediately preceding his death. Fuck. Go away. I don't care, you fucking antivirus program. Shed some light on his bizarre actions immediately preceding his death in November 2013. I should begin by saying I did not know John well. His time at Stardew Entertainment was brief, 7 months, 3 days to be precise, and in that time our relationship was almost exclusively professional. We attended the same directors' meetings and often found ourselves on the same sides of long-standing discussions about this or that project. The subject of these conversations was always work-related, professional, appropriate, nothing out of the ordinary. On 2 occasions only did I see him in what could be called social circumstances. The first was in June 2013 on the evening of Abstergo Entertainment's yearly assembly, held that year in the Riverside Park in the heart of Montreal's Old Port. I remember it was a lovely evening and very hot, so the lines for the bar were quite long. At some point, I too was waiting in a queue for another glass of white wine for myself and a beer for a friend, when I realized John was standing just behind me. He said hello and we discussed the various bits of news Olivier had just announced at the assembly meeting. Then our talk turned to more personal subjects. I remember he said he was from the United States, born in a small town in Maryland, the name of which escapes me. I asked about the peculiarity of his accent, and he thought it had something to do with the amount of traveling he did with his family. He hinted at a rather lonely childhood with few stable relationships, so he laughed this off as though it no longer bothered him. Our conversation then drifted to generalities about our current projects. I was, in those summer weeks, still in pre-production for the Sample 17 project and told him things were proceeding well. He then asked me if Abstergo Entertainment had access to any of the old Enigmas 1.28 models. I told him I didn't think we did, as these models were not Helix compatible, or therefore of no use to us at Abstergo Entertainment. He said that was too bad, and when I asked him why, he said something to the effect of, I'd love to take a quick trip to my own messy past. This didn't strike me as odd at the time. At one point or another, most of our employees expressed a desire to peek into their own genetic memories, but I had to disabuse him of any ideas that this was a possibility. Abstergo has a very strict screening process, I told him. We take donations of gene material, yes, but the actual life sequencing process is done by trained professionals only. Enigmas is a tool, not a toy. After listening to my explanation, he said again that it was too bad. When I suggested he donate his genetic material to the company anyway, he said nothing and wandered away from the queue. I had noticed he hadn't taken any food or drink at all. The second occasion was not so much a meeting as it was a sighting. It was on a Saturday morning in Montreal. At some point in the late summer, I was walking down Park towards Sherbrooke when I decided to stop by my favorite cafe for a drink. While waiting for my coffee, I happened to notice John was there too, sitting by himself in a far corner of the establishment, hunched over a small laptop and staring at the screen intently. His face was very flushed as streams of tears ran down his face. He looked distraught, as if a close relation had died and he had just heard the news. As I waited watching him intermittently, I noticed that he was talking to someone, most likely via video or voice chat. This was not so unusual, of course, yet the manner of his speech was very odd. His conversation, from the little I could make out, seemed to be filled with joy and happiness, even as his expression was one of a man being tortured to the limits of endurance. Deciding against a quick hello, I grabbed my coffee when it came and moved to the exit. Fortunately, I could not resist the final peek at my colleague. I wish I had not paused. Turning again to the back of the room, I found John staring directly at me. All emotion had drained from his face, red, raw face. His expression was blank, yet his eyes were fixed on me, boring like two screws through my skull. I exited the cafe as quickly as I could. When I saw him at work the following week, he greeted me in the same laconic fashion. I said nothing about seeing him at the cafe, and neither did he. We spoke only a handful of times after that, the last time being outside the Helix bunker server room in EAE's lower bunker area. We argued about the employees we had recently detained on suspicion of espionage. I didn't see him again, and he was dead soon after. Apart from these details, I have only generalities to offer. He was an odd man, but no stranger than most of the more technically minded employees here. He was known to mumble into himself quite frequently, though I never witnessed this behavior for myself. He was somewhat arrogant and haughty, but this again was not so unusual for his line of work, especially for a man whose intelligence and talent were not in question. He was undoubtedly skilled and had technical aptitude that surprised even some of our most senior technicians. If you have any further questions, don't hesitate to contact me. Melanie LeMay is TCO of Abstergo Entertainment. So that was, I literally think it was at this paragraph here is when it froze before, so I'm actually glad I was able to make through it. And as far as I can tell, I'm still recording. The program is not frozen. I really wish I knew why it froze like that. But next up is Phoenix Project Report. Note, Melanie, this is one of the documents I mentioned. Note that your security clearance has been raised. I think it's time you understood the full picture. Level was at 5, 6, 7, 8. Security clearance only. It's a federal international crime to read or possess these documents without proper authorization. UN Charter, Special Appendix C, NGO, and Corporate Benevolence waivers. Violators will be punished to the full extent of the law. Phoenix Project Special Report, 15 September 2014. Covering this brief: successes, challenges, next steps. Part 1, successes. While the general public remains content to generate amusing tornadoes of sound and fury over the basic faster evolution, we have made some incredible progress in our study of the precursor hominid species that it renders these minor squabbles utterly irrelevant. Our advances, achieved through decades of diligent research and ingenious experimentation by Abstergo's best and brightest, have finally led us to a full understanding of the teleological origin of our species. I don't know what teleological means. I guess I could Google it. Never heard of that word. Teleological. Relating to or involving the explanation of phenomena in terms of the purpose they serve rather than of the cause by which they arise. Teleological origin of our species. We are now prepared to embark on our third major phase of research into our progenitor creators, Homo sapiens divinius. So that's actually the first time I'm seeing that phrase in relation to the Isu. It's surprising that this term doesn't actually come up. It's clear that Homo sapien divinius is relating to the Isu, but I've never seen that phrase before. I wonder if it's only in this game. First stage of Abstergo study of HSC began with nominal efficiency in the 1950s, following Rosalind Franklin's pioneering but censored discovery of triple helix DNA. Our scientists achieved further success in the late 60s with the discovery of the fossilized remains of 4 HSC specimens near the base of Mount Kilimanjaro. Evidence of this precursor race had already been the subject of speculation and rumor for many centuries before, but with modern scientific techniques, we were able to confirm their existence beyond any doubt. Phase 2 began in 1971 with the creation and funding of Abstergo's first official precursor habitation expedition. By the end of that decade, 7 large-scale Denisovan sites located in Europe, Africa, North America, and Asia have been discovered and partially excavated. These discoveries were not made without setbacks, however, and the quality of the data was often questionable. Though we entered the 1980s with no doubt as to their importance, it was at this time too that a concerted effort was made to recover as many tools, artifacts, and curios as possible from these and other sites. Phase 3 has now been in full operation since 2004, guided by the explicit mandate to sequence an entire precursor genome by the year 2018. So far, we feel we are in good position to meet that goal. In parallel with this project, an adjunct team has been tasked with the job of acquiring as many distinct samples as possible and extracting whatever useful genetic memories we can obtain. The word tangentially, that's a word not in my vocabulary, but tangent is essentially like a sequence, I think. I'm actually going to look that one up too. In a way that relates only slightly to a matter peripherally. I was completely off base. Tangentially related to the sequencing process will be invaluable in the long term as a source of advanced scientific and historical knowledge. So I should clarify, I know what the word tangent means, I've used it before. I just misremembered the definition, so that's my bad. In conjunction with the HST's genome project, additional teams have been tasked with sequencing the genomes of related species in the Homo genus. To date, these teams have made the following progress. Homo sapiens sapiens, approximately 4%. Homo sapiens sapiens complete. Homo neanderthalis complete. Homo erectus, approximately 17%. Homo antecessor, approximately 4%. Homo ergaster, approximately 13%. Denisova hominins, approximately 2%. Homo habilis, approximately 16%. Homo sapiens adultu, approximately 27%. So, of these names, Homo sapiens sapiens is what our species is currently referred to. I'm assuming Homo sapiens adultu is what our people were referred to like 10,000 years ago. I know what Homo erectus is, and I know what Homo habilis is. Those names are familiar. What is not familiar to me is Homo antecessor and Homo ergaster. And Denisova hominins. I'm pretty sure that Denisova hominins were related to those people, the discovery of that site mentioned earlier, but I don't know for sure, because antecessor and ergaster and Denisova hominins does not sound familiar to me at all. So I don't know entirely like of our history of our species. I know like some of it, but I don't know all. Initial reports indicate that at least some of these hominids, like us, owe their existence to precursor HSC species. The genome of Homo neanderthalis, for example, bear unmistakable signs of deliberate craftsmanship. Further archaeological evidence indicates that the Neanderthals may have been explicitly designed and built as a military or expeditionary force. Research into this field of study is in its infancy, but it is ongoing. Our two challenges. Progress of the HST genome has been slow since our project began in 2006. And collaboration with researchers at Rosalind Franklin University as a functional half-life of DNA is approximately 500 years. We're resigned to the fact that the most remains of HSC organisms will contain, at best, 0.625% of their original information. Secondly, acquisition of actionable remains has proven difficult. We suspect one reason may be that the HST species, at the height of its cultural development in 80,000 BC, where is it? BCE had an almost universal preference for cremation over the elaborate burial rituals preferred by lesser hominids, ourselves included. We also know that following the large-scale Toba extinction event, the HST species died off very rapidly as members of the Homo sapiens sapiens and the Homo neanderthalis advanced at a startling rate. I believe the Toba extinction is the event of the solar flare that was essentially like the apocalypse for the Isu. Homo neanderthalis, I already read that. Further evidence indicates that these latter species dismantled and salvaged almost all precursor sites as a means of survival. However, in recent months, we have discovered the existence of two potentially fruitful sources of intact HSD DNA. One source has been confirmed recently, a recurring, though extremely rare breed of human male archetype born with enough triple helix DNA to account for 5% to 6% of its total genome. Colloquially called sages, as a word that I always have issues pronouncing. By previous generations, these specimens, if captured alive or with enough genetic material intact, would enrich our search for precursor DNA samples immeasurably. The second source is classified pending confirmation, but early results are promising. Our 3 next steps. The Tactics and Strategies Committee advises the following courses of action in the near future. 1. Utilize Enigmas technology to locate humans with trace amounts of embedded triple helix DNA, as has been discovered, demonstrated by the findings of the late Dr. Middick. Crossbreeding between HSD, Homo sapiens divinus, and HSS, Homo sapiens sapiens, did occur on more than one occasion. Average ranges in normal humans typically run from 0.0002% to 0.0005% of the total genome. While the DNA acquired from subject 17, Desmond Miles, was an extraordinary 0.952%. As mentioned in part 2, make all efforts to locate more sages. Living samples are preferred, but any remains younger than 3 or 4 millennia will give us a significant advantage. Locating, so should I clarify, millennia is essentially 1,000 years, so younger than 3 or 4,000 years. Locating so-called blood vials purported to contain the preserved blood of precursor luminaries would also prove invaluable. It is not known how effectively the vials have preserved these samples, but they are nevertheless a promising source of additional information, especially if acquired in bulk. The only other thing that we have is Archive Conversation, 27 February 2014. Transcribed telephone conversation between Miss Melanie LeMay and Dr. A. Grammatica. Hello, Melanie. Grammatica. Hello, Melanie LeMay. Alvaro, you must be on your way here. Grammatica. I'm in Toronto on layover. Should be in Montreal around 9 tonight. LeMay. Ring me if you need something, a taxi or a restaurant recommendation. Grammatica. I will. Do you have a look at the documents I sent you? LeMay. I did, and I'm stunned. Grammatica. We all are. It's incredible, isn't it? LeMay, and you sure about the dates? Grammatica, as near as we can be. We're confident those images were taken a century or two after the Toba catastrophe. LeMay, I've never seen such strange architecture. Grammatica, few people have. LeMay, do you have any footage of this? Why just still images? They say you should have more genetic memories than that. Grammatica, they do, but the earliest memories are always the hardest to disentangle. They're difficult to parse, but we're getting there. LeMay, I imagine you'll want to find more sages then. Grammatica, that's the plan. We're always on the lookout for all DNA. The sages should be our best source. LeMay, and blood vials, I imagine, like Edward Kenway found. Grammatica, blood vials too, and relics. All very valuable, and if we're lucky to find another piece of Eden, that might help. LeMay, well, I'll put one of the researchers on this. Any references to sages or blood vials, I'll put them up. Grammatica, that's exactly what I want to hear. Thanks, Mel. You holding up? LeMay, I am. Thanks. Just prepping early for Vex this year. I don't know what Vex is. You've got great things lined up. Grammatica, I've heard. I look forward to it. So the other things is the songs you have Sa'ira. According to legend, Sa'ira was inspired by Benjamin Franklin during his stint as ambassador to France. When asked about the American War of Independence, he would reportedly apply Sa'ira. Sa'ira, it will be fine. The music existed before the lyrics and was played on the harpsichord by Marie Antoinette, who was particularly fond of this tune on special occasions at Versailles. The initial words were quite harmless, basically a refrain of "it will be fine" over and over, but in 1790 they were changed to Sa'ira, 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 the Les Aristocrats, a la Lantern, las aristocrats a las pendra. I'll be fine, it'll be fine, it'll be fine. The aristocrats to the lamppost. It'll be fine, it'll be fine, it'll be fine. The aristocrats will hang them. The song thus became the rallying cry of the Parisian sans-culottes and the revolutionary riots. Once again, French is not my native language, so I apologize if I'm butchering it. Okay, we only have 2 more left. Harold at Marianne fails to impress. Clipping is from a newspaper dated 12 July 1782. It is badly crumpled, as though someone once wadded it up into a small ball. A theatrical review by Mille Lecouvre. Last evening, I had the pleasure, if indeed pleasure it can be called, of seeing very nearly the worst production of Voltaire's Herod at Marianne at Cafe Theatre on Ile St. Louis. Never has the tragic death of the Queen of Judea been rendered with more glaring ineptitude. I'm sure that as Madame Dupree's Herod has all the pathos of a fishmonger who's especially ashamed of his day's catch, and Mille Arcades Miriam seems to be able to do little more than well at it, like a child denied a treat. As to the supporting cast, I shall only say that the director would have been better served by releasing a dozen Barbary apes into the theater than at least wind up inside the audience to a modicum of excitement. As to the sets and costuming, which should richly evoke the ancient world of Jerusalem, the director's vision seems limited to papier-mâché temples and badly unconvincing false beards. Theater is a world of the imagination, to be sure, but this cheap, shoddy reproduction resembles nothing so much as small children picking up sticks and proclaiming themselves musketeers de la garde. I don't know what that means. In short, I hated this play. I hated this play. If you good readers have any respect for M. Arut's work, I caution you to stay far, far away. On the plight of nobility, this pamphlet is printed on the finest quality paper and includes many fine woodcut illustrations. In these desperate times, we hear much of the plight of the poor, but little of the plight of the nobility. Yet why have we not? For the poor have always been poor, as such they have nothing more to lose. But we stand to lose all. We have been turned out of our homes, had our goods seized by mobs who claim to represent the people. We have been attacked in the streets, arrested, and even murdered simply for the crime of inheriting a title. And yet, with all our wealth, where is France? For who will employ the poor if not for the rich? Who will employ the pastry maker if the king throws no party for him to cater? Who will employ a groundskeeper if not account with grounds to keep? Who, indeed, will employ even the lowliest of tanners without we of the nobility to buy their shockingly priced goods? Though there is no France without us, we of the second estate are the pillars which uphold our society. The very fact of this can be seen in the ways in which the lower classes have decided to express their displeasure. Began with their ignorance of protocol and attempting to continue the Estates General in a mere tennis court without the blessing of their rightful king, but it did not end there. They have broken open armories and stolen weapons. They have marched upon palaces and broken inside to threaten the king. They have threatened their betters in the street. Is this an angry mob really an effective way to govern a nation? I submit that it is not. Nobles of France, rise up and reclaim their titles. Call upon friends and family abroad to aid us in our time of peril. We must put an end to this revolution, for without us, France is lost. Okay, so that is actually all of the new entries for the database. Thank you guys for watching, and we'll see you all next week.